Okay, now that we've established the foundation of why you want to brand yourself online and some important psychology behind effective marketing, let's talk about some of the mechanics of how to actually do it. After all, attraction marketing isn't about prospecting, it's about positioning. Let me explain. People will pay attention to you when you demonstrate that you have a specific knowledge in a specific area. And prospecting in the traditional sense of the word is about hunting, like the lion chasing the gazelle. But positioning yourself as an expert and a leader is one of my favorite insider secrets to making all this branding and attraction marketing stuff work almost effortlessly. Because people always want to join with people that they perceive as being the best at what they do. This is true for just about every industry out there. It doesn't matter whether it's real estate, interior design, or even gardening. People are naturally attracted to those that they perceive as the best at what they do. And by the way, I just want to address one of the biggest questions up front that I get asked all the time by newbies and people that have failed in a lot of different opportunities. And that is, okay, Brad, it's easy for you because you've already made a name for yourself. But I haven't had any success yet. So where does that leave me, and how can I get the same results and brand myself as an expert? It's the $64,000 question, right? Well, the first thing I want to say is that everybody's got a story. It doesn't matter who you are. And don't worry if you've never had any success in a home-based opportunity yet. We all have to start somewhere. And I know you might be thinking that no one will take you seriously when you're new or you've failed in the past, but let go of that mentality, because it's about having people perceive you as someone who knows what they're talking about, as opposed to already having achieved the results. That's the most important concept I really want you to get. The fact of the matter is, I could be a homeless person on the street right now, and you'd have absolutely no idea because of the way that I'm actually projecting myself. And so it has nothing to do with how much I'm making or not making. It's about what I'm saying, and most importantly, who I'm being. Let me explain this a little bit more, because I think a lot of people's idea of branding is backwards, where they think that they have to have it first, then do it, and then they'll actually be able to be it. And that's not what it's really about at all. It's about being it first, then doing it, and then you'll have everything that you want. So again, you don't have to have the financial results to be able to position yourself as an expert or a leader. But you do have to develop the mindset that you have the solution to your prospects' problems, and that they need you more than you need them. And until you completely own this internally, more times than not, you're going to find yourself stuck between chasing after any prospects that show the least bit of interest in your opportunity and feeling a sense of desperation when you deal with them directly. What I've learned over the years is that a lot of people fail not because they're lazy or can't follow simple instructions, but because they fail to do the work on themselves, which in my opinion is 90% of the game. The bottom line is, if you want to grow your cash flow, you've got to grow yourself as well. There are no exceptions to this rule. As an introvert, let me just say that I had to do a lot of stretching and growing when I first came in this industry, and it was scary at first, but I knew I had to face those fears head on if I wanted to grow my bank account. And I'll be the first one to tell you that it's not about what you're going to get, but who you become in the process. In other words, it's not about how much money you make, it's about who you're being and how much value you're providing to the marketplace. Now, I'm not saying that you have to create or invent something new to become an expert, because if you just invest in a little education, like you're doing right now, you're going to gain more knowledge, and as a result, you're going to become more valuable to others when you share what you've learned. Here's another thing I want you to keep in mind. Most of us think that we don't have anything of value to share with our prospects when we're brand new, or we haven't generated any cash flow yet, and a lot of times we have a difficult time of recognizing the knowledge and experience that we already have right between our ears. So if you're someone like me who's failed in a lot of other opportunities out there, you can use that so-called negative experience and turn that into a positive by sharing what you've learned that didn't work. In a lot of cases, your prospects are going to find some common ground with you because they failed too, and they can relate to that. And that's what attraction marketing is all about. So anyone can position themselves as an expert, and your expertise doesn't have to be based solely on your experience alone. Even if you don't feel like you have enough knowledge about a particular subject, like marketing for instance, you can read some books, watch some videos, listen to CDs, do some research, pick up ideas from other people that are getting the results you want, and then share what you've learned with others. which will essentially make you an expert on that subject. Think about it. That's what a lot of authors do when they write books. Internet marketers are always doing it, and over time, as you gain more knowledge, you'll internalize what you learn, and then it'll become yours for the rest of your life. And the more you become a student of marketing and pay attention to how other people are promoting themselves and their opportunities, the faster you'll be able to incorporate these ideas into your own brand. Okay, I want to quickly cover something important here that relates to everything in this training, and that's the subject of support. It's probably the biggest complaint I hear from newbies, and that is right after they join an opportunity, their sponsor abandoned them. It's amazing how many people have been left out in the cold to fend for themselves. You know, I don't like the fact that there are scumbags out there that are only looking out for themselves. You know, the guys that are the traveling salesmen. Once they get your money, they're gone and you can never reach them again. But if you want to position yourself as a leader as well as an expert in this industry, you've got to take care of people. Now, that doesn't mean you have to babysit adult children or hold their hands every step of the way, but you do need to be there to assist them to the best of your ability when they ask for help. Anyways, there's a lot of churn and burn mentality out there, and quality prospects don't expect you to do it all for them. But they do want to know that you're going to be there after they join and that you have their best interest at heart. One more thing. If you're new or maybe you haven't had any success yet in your current opportunity and prospects ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, that's a great question, John. I don't know the answer, but let me go find out and I'll get back to you. Then go ahead and find the answer from somebody in your support team. In other words, don't try to be Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All. It's far better to be honest with them and tell them you don't know the answer than to try and wing it when you really don't know what you're talking about. Remember, attraction marketing is about building trust, and people will value your sincerity when you tell them the truth. And that's really the point I want to make here, because if you can convey that feeling of honesty and integrity before they join you, you're going to definitely increase your conversion rates.